Alright everyone, how's it going? It's Jin here. And before we get into it today, I think I'm going to do it a bit arse over elbow. Usually I seem to talk about the gameplay towards the end. I don't know what it is. I think I'm so kind of passionate to talk about the idea that's in my head that I kind of like skip over it. So the gameplay here is Fallen with my Buckaroo class, as I call it, because it's the AK, we all know, kicks like a mule, so I thought it was appropriate. And to be honest, this is one of my favourite guns. I just think it's kind of entertaining to use, because it is kind of challenging. I mean, it's not as bad as like the CM901, that thing is a piece of dog shit, but this gun's actually pretty good. I mean, I quite like it. It's probably one of, as I say, it's one of my favourite guns. And I get a Moab in this gameplay, not to spoil it. I mean, that's pretty much what I've been uploading so far. And you see, towards like halfway through the specialist streak, I go to Camper's Cove, as I call it, which is like that wee building with like the two sets of stairs going up to it. And I just pretty much stick there for the rest of the Moab because they just keep coming back to me and I just keep pounding their ass. like I don't need to go anywhere. I mean, I could probably have been a torso with the gun and I still would have managed to get it, but anyway. I'll quite keep it brief because, as I say, I've got something in my mind, so let's get to it. And the thing I want to talk about was fighting. And the reason, if you watched my last video, you could have seen that I said I was going to upload a video like tomorrow or the next day. But I was on YouTube and I was just kind of looking through videos, like looking at fights and stuff. And I don't know what it is about YouTube, but everybody who watches, I mean, there's very, very few actual, like, decent fight videos out there. Like, I think there was one you see is like a guy and a woman walking along the street and it's like a black tracksuit with like yellow kind of piping down the side, and there's two drunk dudes and the guy turns around and like smacks the guy's girlfriend, and the guy just goes to town. He's just like pop 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 pop, just like, what you doing, drunk bastards, fucking douche douche douche. Yeah, like, yeah man. And there was another one, I think it was in New York or something. It was the same thing. It was like one guy versus like three dudes, and it was his same again. His girlfriend was getting like hit or something, and he was just defending her. The same thing. And but for the rest of them, I mean, they are average. I mean, and that's the thing. Is the street fights. It's not by any means like controlled UFC like uploads. It's just regular street fights, and you see all these comments in the bottom saying something like. Oh, these guys are shit at fighting. Oh, fucking, I could do better than this. Oh, I'd punch this guy and I'd punch that guy. And you're like, like, shut the fuck up, man. Like, everybody who, well, I don't know, I'd say around about 90% of the comments on some sort of fight video, like, they seem to think they're some sort of Tai Chi master. You know what I mean? They've got, like, the secret scroll of Kung Fu. I don't get where all that come from. Like, for anybody who doesn't know, the average fight will last less than 10 seconds standing up. Like, in other words, the fight will go to the ground in under 10 seconds in the average street fight. So for anybody who's watching some sort of fight, I mean, just think about your fights, and like, there will be folk out there, obviously, that won't admit, like, oh no man, I totally just knocked this guy out in one hit, and oh, I'm a tank and I'm a beast, and you're like, fucking settle down, son, you know what I mean? Like, myself, I'm by no means a tough guy or hard man. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying this as if I'm some sort of crazy qualified fighter, but, because this is what I wanted to go into was, like, actual your own experiences, because obviously you watch these YouTube fights and there's all different kind of situations and I don't know, all these football fucking rallies and all that pish, but your own fights, like, leave in the comments below, this is what I want to know. Has the 1v1 disappeared? Like, is it now a myth? Because you hear like older guys talking away and they're talking about how, oh, on my day it was like 1v1 and like we'd be there to back up our pals, so to make sure that his pals didn't jump in. Whereas like nowadays it seems to be like, if there's like a 1v1 that's supposed to happen, the guy's mate will jump out of nowhere and just like, boom, sucker punched. And like, you're like, that's not fucking skill or cool, know what I mean? If anything, you're a fucking coward. And you'll hear things like next weekend, there'll be rumours obviously that went through the week and circled around and they'll be like, oh, did you hear about this and that? Yeah. And they'll be like, yeah, 6 dudes beat up one guy. Like, congratulations, UFC champion over there. Like, like, what the fuck do you want from me? Like, am I supposed to be impressed at the fact that 6 guys kicked the shit out of one guy? Like, is that hard? Is that supposed to show some sort of like toughness? Like, to me, that's just 6 cowards that didn't have the confidence to fight one guy themselves. And you'll notice that, like, see, in my town, it's not a big town. There's maybe like 10,000 people in it. I mean, even that, I think that's an exaggeration. But if you lived here like your whole life, like I have, you know everybody, and everybody kind of knows you. So it's not like a big mystery. Like when fights go down, like everybody will know because it's kind of within your age group, or say within about minus plus like 10 years. Everybody knows like roughly who you're talking about. So if something goes down, and the problem is because it is such a small town, repercussions like for example, I was at the pub one night with my mate Michael, and we're just chilling. I mean, having a few pints. We game of pool, and he was to get a taxi to go over to his mate's house, and so we went outside for a taxi, and this fucking wido comes up, and I'm like, all right, mate, and he's like, what's your problem? I'm like, what the fuck? Like, it's all right, mate. Not an acceptable fucking opener nowadays. Oh, pardon me. So he starts going on at me, and I'm having a smoke, know what I mean by that? And he's like, oh, you fucking fat fuck, oh, you couldn't get a bird, you're an ugly bastard, and all that. So I just go, ping, and like, the guy knows it's on, so he tries to come at me with like a right straight, so I duck it, no, maybe, sorry, actually, I weaved left, and I just like cross him right in the jaw. It's just like, what the fuck happened? Oh my god, like, what the what am I? So I take like his t-shirt and pull it over like the top of his head, and I just start smacking the guy in the face like repeatedly. And like when I still go to the gym, but nowhere near as much as I should. But back then I was going like 5 times a week, and the guys at the gym saw me like from across the street, and it was cool because one of the biggest guys at the gym, I mean, you're talking fucking massive, and he get bullied when he was young, and he's like talking to me, he's like fucking basically mad respect, you know what I mean? Like, we could clearly see this guy was being a bit of an arsehole, and you know what I mean, you stuck up for yourself, because I never used to fight, ever. I mean, I get bullied pretty badly, and I think that was what kind of made the switch flip, you know what I mean? It just was something, eventually I just had enough. I had enough of like the bullshit of people thinking they could walk over you, and that's one thing I want to stress to anybody who watches this. You have to stand up for yourself. Because see, somebody thinks that they can walk over you, they'll keep doing it. I mean, if they keep thinking they can take advantage, or you can be a wee plaything to them, a play toy to pass the time, they'll keep on doing it. I mean, especially in school, if you're there every day and you just let somebody just fucking pound your rim, you know what I mean? Like, every day, just, there's got to be a point where, you know what the thing is? See if the guy keeps doing it, eventually, and you just smack the guy right in the gonk. I mean, like, he's gonna be like, what the fuck? Like, oh, and his eyes will be on. I'll be like, okay, like, let's, and it's, for all you know, the guy could be a coward, and he could fight, like, okay, reassessing my goals, like, let's pick somebody smaller. And but anyway, that's what I wanted to talk to you about. Like, what's your experiences? You've heard the same thing? If you had 1v1s, if you started off on a 1v1 and like fucking before you know it, 5 guys have come out like the side of the, like, don't know, come out the walls, and you're like, Jesus, what the fuck? Like, where did they come from? Like, and I mean, I don't know, what's your interpretation? Even on the YouTube thing, like, do you respect when you see somebody on YouTube, or are you like, please, man, that's what is this, man? Flagging elbows, like, I don't know, windmills and shit like that in a cartoon. Anyway, I think that's pretty much everything I want to talk about today. So, if you enjoyed the video, I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.
Kill confirmed. Time's almost up. Friendly predator missile confirmed.